Hey everybody, hope we're doing well. Welcome back to a very big and special episode of CS News, and this time around our first story, guys. Also the first story back in our apartment for the rest of the school year. Hopefully the audio is going to be working well. For the first story today, guys, in CS News, we do have a big Chinese scandal going on with the #1 Chinese team, or at least the previous #1 Chinese team, that is Tyloo. They have now dropped over half their roster and suspended a third player as well as their head coach. So little details for all of you guys. Both their players, known as Attacker and Fancy, have been kicked from their roster altogether. That's 2 players right there, along with a third player known as Somebody in Game. He's also been suspended from their roster, and they've also kicked or fired their head coach known as Scarce. So compare this, guys, the #1 Chinese team, Tyloo, arguably better than 5 Dragons and Cyber Zen, who follow out probably the top 3 there. They have removed 3 of their 5 players from their current roster as well as their head coach. Compare that to maybe a Cloud9 or Optic movement here in North America, or maybe a top European team like Virtus.pro doing this. And this is an insane change here for the Chinese scene. And why that actually happened is apparently all 3 of these players as well as their head coach were in conspiracy, or actually in actual cahoots, to actually try and get another team or another organization to make a new team, a new Chinese powerhouse team. They've been caught by this and also kicked out of several Chinese leagues. We have WESG as well as even ESL stepping in as well and banning these players from their leagues. On top of all this, because they're under contract, and you cohorting to do this behind your org's back while under contract is heavily against those contracts and what you signed agreements wise. So these 3 players are off the roster. I don't know exactly the details as to why Somebody, the third player, was actually suspended off the roster and the other 2 players, Attacker and Fancy, were kicked. But yes, huge Tyloo changes, guys, and a huge Chinese scene change here. Tyloo will no longer be #1, and their only 2 remaining players will be Mo and DD, returning that lineup for WESG Finals. Now, again, a big thing here because WESG Finals starts in around 4 days' time for all of you, and Tyloo arguably had a really good group for that, but now they're only team, and probably the only big Chinese team here, besides 5 Dragons and Cyber Zen, who also have significantly easier groups, besides 5 Dragons having a tougher group, and besides Cyber Zen, Tyloo being your best chance for a Chinese win here at WESG Finals, and now over half their team is gone. Going to be very interesting to see how these guys do at WESG with only Mo and DD in this current roster online right now for the Chinese scene. Tyloo is now destroyed. And as always, guys, before we get into our next story, time markers are down below for whatever stories you guys are interested in. I do have a new sponsor for this video and this video alone, maybe a future promotional sponsorship if you guys receive it very well. That's for our website known as GameFlip.com. I'll leave you guys a link down below. Also, my link will give you guys, if you enter through my link and actually sign up for the website, you all get a free $1 to spend on the website through my codes. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. GameFlip is pretty much the eBay of the gaming world. You guys can buy and sell consoles, any skins for Dota 2, we have League of Legends, especially CSGO skins as well, and all types of esports skins out there. Pretty much the eBay of the CSGO skins, competes with OP skins, but also you can buy and sell other items on this site with the, because if you go to eBay or you go to other websites and try and sell your virtual items, it's a really hard and a skeptical area to go into because there's not a lot of seller protection when it comes to selling your items. So I'm definitely going to give it a try. You guys can see me on screen right now selling some keys. It's also going to be a really good way for you guys out there who have not used the website yet. You can pick up some really nice snipes for weapons and keys. I saw keys on there for very cheap prices. So go check it out, guys, and use my free $1 code down below. Hope you guys all enjoy that. Huge shouts to GameFlip for sponsoring this video and hopefully a future promotional sponsorship as well. And now onto our main story of the day, guys. That is 1.5 million ESEA accounts have been hacked by a specified hacker who actually had a failed extortion attempt. Now what we mean by this, guys, why it was a failed extortion, is because this hacker of ESEA apparently hacked nearly 1.5 million accounts, over 1 million active accounts that is, and he actually demanded money from ESEA, which they did. The whole "we don't negotiate with terrorists" thing. This carries over here is because, according to ESEA officials, they did not negotiate with him. Instead of giving his demand of apparently 6-figure sum, so over $100,000, it was at least guaranteed over $50,000, which he demanded. Apparently, it was much higher than that. So we can actually probably speculate it's going to be a $100,000 figure he demanded to actually keep this private. Now, again, if you guys are going to be hacked like this, you're not mostly going to know it until it goes public through either a hacker's means or ESEA announcing it. ESEA decided not to negotiate with terrorists right here. They did not give him into his demands for the money, and they actually released it publicly before the hacker could. So 1.5 million ESEA accounts have been hacked, and a really big sad moment here for CSGO. Many of you guys know CSGO has been struggling throughout all the gambling, throughout all the oversaturation, and now we have this, one of our main off servers. We have, Face It Pro League and now ESEA, and ESEA coming out with their anti-cheats on New Year's, and now all of a sudden they've been hacked back. It's incredibly disappointing to see, but hopefully, them announcing it was the right thing to do. So yes, 1.5 million accounts have been hacked, releasing addresses, logins, IPs, as well as, personal information like that. Now, nothing too serious. Everything should be fine because it's all encrypted. But again, ESEA is warning you guys that you might be affected. So watch out for that, guys. And that was in huge CSGO news. Now, on top of this, moving to our next story, guys, we do have the DreamHack Las Vegas Qualifiers finishing up sometime short this week. And I do want to update all of you guys on Maikelele's old team. The old team of J Keem in a really random lineup. They were actually going to go to DreamHack Las Vegas Qualifiers. They did not manage to qualify for that DreamHack Masters tournament tournament coming up sometime soon in February. So he will be going back, guys, all the way to Germany for his new team, QWERTY, with this Instagram post on screen. So we have not yet seen this QWERTY lineup actually play together. The Scandinavian lineup over there with Slap and Wenton, all those guys, gonna be really cool to see how they do, as well as PETA. I'm really curious to see how this lineup does. As well, speaking about DreamHack Las Vegas qualifiers, guys, we did get the chance, of course, to see Moses alongside those surprise guests this past weekend. Get Right, NIP's very own Get Right, did cast for DreamHack Las Vegas qualifiers. Really cool to see a pro player on the scene who is obviously on a little bit of a break because they didn't qualify for the major. Sad news there, of course, but he took his time to actually go out on the scene, on the set with Moses, and actually kind of give his opinion and give his analysis on the actual game. So really cool to see what his opinions were during game, what he had to say. Sometimes he was actually very critical of the players, which is really cool to see, a really nice side to see as well on that desk.
Because he forgot the key, so you're going to man down the fort. Get Right, play-by-play.
How to commentate by Get Right. Key get a kill mid. Very good kill. Dennis pushing through the smoke. Want to get the kill. Ledja from short. Get one. Christian kills back. Ledja.
And I do have to try and be a little bit quiet, a little less energetic right now. My roommates are still sleeping because I'm back in my apartment. It's currently 9:30 in the morning for me when I'm making this video. You guys should be watching this around 10:30 or 11. I'm going to be live streaming on YouTube today. Please check that out, guys. And giving away a gut knife factory new Doppler on my live stream as well. It's going to be on YouTube, so look out for that. I will be live streaming, though, for 6 hours today. So just check that out if you guys want to. Our last 3 stories for today involve DreamHack Las Vegas qualifiers. So as of right now, DreamHack Las Vegas will be our first Masters tournament on the DreamHack Masters Tour. It's going to be in Las Vegas in February. We have our last 4 European qualifiers. Our North American qualifiers still yet to come, but our last 4 European teams, kind of surprising fashion, it was Mouse Sports over Hellraisers. Many of you guys know Hellraisers. A couple weeks ago, they qualified for the E-League Major over Mouse Sports, and Hellraisers looked very good there. Here they did not. Mouse Sports swept them 2-0 in very convincing fashion. Of course, Chris, Jay, and Dennis leading that team and looking very convincing doing so. We also had Fnatic dominate G2, and I mean obliterate them. I think it was 16-9, 16-4, and G2 did not look, I guess they looked like themselves the past few months, but Fnatic did dominate them and looked really good in doing so. We also had FaZe, no surprise, we're flip side there. Flip side having one of those players, World Edit carrying this team. If World Edit does not carry this team, they are pretty much down in the dirt. So FaZe, no surprise there, beat them, as well as Gambit did beat out Pride Gaming. Now, why Pride Gaming had the chance to qualify for DreamHack Las Vegas is because Pride actually took down Godsent in a best-of-3 series. Many of you guys not very surprised about this. Ever since the Swedish Shuffle, Godsent has struggled against these lower-tier teams. But yes, Pride Gaming took down Godsent. They faced off against Gambit for the last spot here, and it was Gambit and Zeus, of course, leading that team alongside Hobbit, who actually made them qualify for DreamHack Las Vegas. So those are your last 4 European qualifiers. And now on our next story, a very short story for all of you guys, and that is Sparkle's response video. Many of you guys know during my last video I talked about his Snapchat story, which I'm not going to link on screen anymore. Many of you guys know the situation where it dropped the N-word on a Snapchat caption. He had a very similar response with this video right here, and it was actually really well put. His friend took a picture. He gave him his phone to take a picture. His friend ended up taking a Snapchat on a picture and then posted the caption himself. They were all out having a good time. He put his phone away, didn't check. He trusted his friend. His friend was an idiot, really putting that as a caption. And that's it. That's the story. We move on. He has great content still. So congrats to Sparkles. He handled the situation pretty much perfectly. And now on to our last story today, guys, involving Cadian and his team Rogue. Many of you guys know I have talked about Cadian a lot in the past, and I do respect the guy. And he has brought his team a long way, as they have now taken the ESEA Season 23 Mountain Dew League title and the $18,000 grand prize. After losing initially in group stages to LDLC, they came back. They beat TSM and Bravado. A really impressive win over TSM there. They went 2-1 in group stages, made it all the way to the grand finals, and repeated against LDLC. But this time, they did not lose. They swept LDLC and Existence's new team over there 2-0, and they did take the title, guys. I'll show pictures on screen right now. So congrats to Cadian. That's actually a really huge victory for them. I'm really happy for them, after their struggles early on in the season, and they're now coming out and really showing themselves to be a really nice talent here in the lower tier. So congrats to Cadian and his prize pool there. And also, I want to tell you guys, I want to be a little more transparent with all of you as well. I told you guys in my live stream, I do have a sponsorship many of you guys know I talked about earlier in this video as well, GameFlip.com. Transparent with all of you guys for that shout out. They gave me $200 in credits on their website to withdraw CSGO skins, and I will be withdrawing all CSGO skins. And if you guys want to know, I'll be giving those away on my live stream as well. So thank you very much to GameFlip. They did give me a again, $200 for that shout out. Hope you guys all enjoy the one-day sponsorship, maybe a future promotion for them, hopefully sometime soon. But I will be using that for CSGO skins to give away on my live stream. So thank you all for understanding that. So hope you guys all enjoy this episode of CSGO News. It was a great one. I had a great time making it. I know it was a little late in those first 2 stories. I am back in school and really busy with classes. But again, I hope you guys all enjoyed. As always, live, love, laugh, my name is Jay, I'll see you guys all next time. I'm not going to shout right now because my roommates are sleeping. But I'll see you guys all later today on live stream. Hope you guys all enjoy. Remember, I like you. Bye.